parents, Ms. Sakamani here. I thought it'd be easier to let you know what we did in class this week with the kids via video, because then it's less for you guys to read and you guys could have the visuals. So just some of the books we read in class this week are here. We began working on our printing this week, so we read and talked about it's okay to make mistakes, that everyone's learning and everyone's at different levels, so we don't want the kids to put too much pressure on themselves, and we don't want them to think that everything has to be perfect. We can never be perfect, and we just want them to know that mistakes are a good thing. We looked at the book called The Dot in Art, and the kids got to create their own dot or dots. It was their interpretation of the book, and it was really great to see because every child had a different vision and every child looked and thought of the book differently. So it's great. Some kids did one dot, one big one, some did lots of little ones, some did little ones around, or big ones around little ones. It was really amazing to see how each child looked at the book differently. Then we have here Tap the Magic Tree. This week we started to discuss the idea of seasons and moving from summer to fall. So Tap the Magic Tree is a great book for that because it shows the changes that we see specifically regarding trees as the year goes on. So we're looking right now for signs of fall, and not only signs of fall outside, but how the seasons allow us to organize our lives, like what holidays are in the fall versus in the winter. So that's kind of what we talked about there. And next week we're going to look into different types of trees and comparing and contrasting them. And then lastly, one of the big things this week, we looked at the book called I Have Feelings, and we watched a little movie clip from the movie Inside Out. Right now it's really important for the students to understand that we do have feelings and emotions, and it's okay to have these feelings. I'm really encouraging my students to tell their teachers and tell their friends when they're feeling frustrated or feeling overwhelmed, because if I don't know how the child feels, I don't know how I can help them. So it'd be great if you guys can also do that at home. Also, we looked at the letter A this week, talking about both uppercase and lowercase and proper formation. And we looked at the sound that letter A makes. So I already sent you the link, the Jolly Phonics link. Please review it this weekend, talking about letter A, and that it makes the A sound, but it can also make a different sound, which is A. It says its own name. We looked at self-portraits this week, and we looked at what makes a good self-portrait, and that's the idea of adding details to a face and adding color. So the kids did a great job here. Sorry, I have the sticky notes covering the child's face, but we talked about eyes, eyelashes, eyebrows. All these details makes our illustrations beautiful. What else? A big thing that I want you guys to know, parents, is we have been talking a lot about letter formation. Each letter has a proper way of forming it, and I use the handwriting without tears guidelines to teach my students. So we have started our practice journals, and they do printing with me. I know it can be difficult for children, but with practice they do get better, and they do have to start somewhere. So this is a great way of doing it. But I must tell you, parents, before that students are able to properly form letters, they need to have their pre-printing skills. And what pre-printing skills are the basic shapes. So lines that are up and down, horizontal, diagonal, circles, triangles, curvy lines. They need to be able to do that before they can properly form a letter. So this week, you'll see that I sent home some duotangs with some students. And these are, sorry, let me just put a sticky note on the name. And these are just some extra practice that the students can do at home. And it's not a bad thing. Every child has to practice certain things. Every child's different. Everyone grows at a different pace. So some students received these this week to work on. Some didn't, but that could change week to week as I see fit. There's a little note inside explaining the procedure of these kind of journals and my expectations. So it'd be great if you guys can get these done on the weekend and bring them back on Monday. If you see this green sheet inside, it just means that your child needs to work on their pre-printing shapes to develop fine motor skills like hand strength, stabilization, finger dexterity, things like that. And then lastly, just while you're doing your pre-printing practice or your printing practice with your child, I'm gonna send this note home to you guys. It talks about pencil grasp. We want to make sure that at home they're using the proper pencil grasp, the one that we're teaching them in school. So that's what this form will explain to you, and I don't want to take too much time on the video, so I'll let you read it. But what we call them is alligator fingers. The children should be using a dynamic tripod grasp. So the visual's in the picture, but it's pretty much, if Michelle, you just want to zoom in, just they say it's tripod because it's the 3 fingers holding it and the 2 that are bent in. So this is kind of the grasp we want our children to use. If they're struggling with this sitting at a table, it also helps to put them on their tummies because it keeps their wrist on the ground, or riding up against a wall. And then lastly, really quickly, we'll just look at this. What we're teaching our children is we're using these visuals for their name. I use my name as an example, but when we're writing, we talk about, first of all, our name always starts with an uppercase letter. The rest are lowercase. And then 2, some letters are tall, and then some letters are small, and some letters fall. I don't have any letters that fall in my name, but a letter that falls, for example, would be letter G, because it drops below the line. But these boxes are something that we're working on in class to help students with their formation, and just mostly letter sizing. This will come in time. Parents, it's not, I don't mean to overwhelm you. I just want to give you an idea of what we're doing in the class so you can start to see it at home and work on it at home. And then lastly, we'll just leave that actually. That's about it, parents. I had a great week with the kids. I'm so impressed with how quickly they're coming along with their routines. As I have more information for you, I'll send it home. I am going to send home the information on the pencil grasp and then some other forms later on, like proper cutting, things like that. So that you can expect that. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great week. We have an exciting week next week, and I'll send you another update on the books that we read so you can discuss them with the kids and the activities that we did in class. So thank you, you guys.